Well, I knew I'd be in this seat. I felt that I'd be in this seat, and I'm really happy to be in this seat. I'm enjoying playing the game. I played the game on both segments of Refreshing, and here's how I played it. I went to the bathroom. And what I realized was that there was a need, a serious need, and that was for the men to stop using the men's bathroom and for the women to take it over. That, for me, is a manifestation of the game that I play every day. I also realize that the questions that I'm going to ask have been in me since I was a kid. And the question that I'm going to ask, I believe that this universal consciousness wants to be asked. And though I've listened to you for a few years, I've never been here before. But I was at home the moment I walked in. And as a result, standing out there drinking water with this badge on, just like everybody else, people were coming to me saying, where is this and where is that? And I was happy to point them in the wrong direction if I could, because I believe in contrast. I'm a walking encyclopedia of misinformation. Here's the thing. Here's my question. As you described Esther and what is her bliss, is to see other people find theirs. That is my bliss.
Yeah. Clearly.
And I do it all the time.
Yeah.
Mostly on an individual level. And I know that you learned through someone else, or Esther learned from someone else, and heard and desired to be a part of that thing.
Actually, not so much.
Maybe Jerry did.
Jerry was seeking. Esther was living happily ever after.
Is it true, though, that there had to have been in Esther the desire to be here?
Here?
Or somewhere like here.
Esther's desire, like all of you, from the day that she came into this physical body, was to be happy. And she had the early experience of not much getting in the way of that. In fact, the only thing that ever got in the way of Esther's happiness was Esther. There were no outside circumstances or anything like that. But because of Jerry's powerful asking, and because of their relationship and Esther's sort of inherent desire to uplift, it came about. We are certain that if Esther had known in the early stages of meditation that it would lead to this, she would not have allowed it. She would have got in the way of that, because her thought about what this was different than what she thought she wanted. But Esther is sort of irrelevant to this equation. What's up with you?
Well, okay, what's up with me is that I want to do what Esther does. I want to do it. And I have always believed that I would and could, but I have had things that I have created to be in my way to get to that point. And I believe that today, that being today, now, that I am in a place where I am receiving, I've allowed up to the point of receiving. And that which I have received, I have thought of as that which would block me the most. And that was some of my theological ideas and my flesh, or there's the theological word for you, my human apparatus has operated at times in certain ways that created for me a huge social and mental block to me being acceptable to me to be in the position to do this in a larger scale.
The bigger the problem that your life has created, the bigger the solution has simultaneously been accomplished. And so that's worth thinking about. We just want to explain something to you just now, really for the first time ever. Esther always centers herself. In the beginning, she was sort of hanging on for dear life over here because the blending of Abraham energy and Esther energy was a little unsettling to her, and she would feel a sort of swooning in it. And so she wanted something that was stable, that she could lean against or prop herself up against. And she knew that what this experience standing here, getting ready for Abraham to speak to you, what it was mostly about was her letting go of anything. She just wanted to get herself out of the way. She didn't want any of her beliefs or concerns or even knowledge about anyone in the room to be in any way a hindrance to anything that Abraham had to offer. And so her words to us as she settled into this were always, Abraham, I want to speak clearly your words, meaning I don't want any of my words to get in the way here. And of course, they are all Esther's words that she's interpreting from the blocks of thought that we are offering. But we're getting to something really important for you here today, just now. Right before you, as Esther was standing here, she was ready. She knew she was ready. And we said to her, you're in the receiving mode. And it's the first time that we have said, you are in the receiving mode, because this receiving mode conversation is relatively new to the discussion. But we said it to her because we wanted to have this conversation with all of you. We want to acknowledge to you that there isn't anything that is happening here that is not available to each one of you if it is something that you desire, because every one of you is an extension of source energy. Now, all that has happened here, and we don't mean to diminish Esther's experience here, because Esther and Jerry have been focused upon this for a long time, and focus matters. Focus matters in the sense of momentum and all of that sort of thing. But we want you to understand that Esther is not exceptional in this way, because simply what Esther has accomplished is an environment where she can easily release her conscious thought and allow her vibration to sync with that of her source. And that's what the receptive mode is. Esther syncing with her source also syncs her with her vortex, which means anything and everything that's in her vortex that matters to her is flowing productively in those moments. In an environment like this, it is all about you, because she understands what we've been saying for a long time. The step 1 is ask, and step 2 is source answers, and step 3 is you got to be in the receptive mode in order to allow it. And so she understands this manifestational process. And what she demonstrates here, far beyond the clever words that she finds in response to what we mean, far beyond her ability to sync with us so that she gets the subtle meaning and can deliver it to you in ways that you can get it on all levels of your being, far beyond the words or the expressions or the experiences that come, what Esther mostly is a demonstration of the receiving mode, which you all want. And what you do with it after you get it is completely up to you. There is no assignment that you need to stand on a stage and talk to people about things that they are wanting to know. There are no assignments. All of that you've picked up along your physical trail. And so if you get it, that what Esther is about is a demonstration of deliberate alignment with infinite intelligence, and that's something that you want, then the process for you is as simple as the process was for Esther. She meditated. Now, the difference with Esther is she didn't have information coming to her. Her instructions were simply this: in response to the question, how can we more effectively achieve our goals? Sit in a quiet room, wear comfortable clothing, focus on your breathing. When your mind wanders, and it will, focus back on your breathing. That was the instruction that Esther had. And so she focused on her breathing, and within the first 15 minutes felt herself being breathed by something more. Now, why was that? Why did that come so easily? Well, a number of reasons. First, she was in absolute absence of resistance. She had no resistance within her when she sat to meditate, and as she meditated, she didn't accomplish any resistance. So she was in a state of non-resistance. And so her vibration was able to sync with ours immediately. But we still, as all inner beings do, had to work around resistance that Esther has. She wasn't asking to be a vessel through which non-physical energy would flow. She wanted to know who the name of her spiritual guide was. That was the simplicity of her question. But we knew, because of what was in her vortex and what was in Jerry's vortex, we knew that she wanted things that she didn't even know she wants. You all do, because you've been putting your things into your vortex so incrementally you don't even really know how they all add up together. You want to live happily ever after, and you want to be an uplifter. But Esther was not asking for this. She wasn't asking for this consciously. She was asking for this vibrationally. Like you, she likes to have fun. She likes to be an uplifter. So what's the point of this conversation? The point of this conversation, the predominant thing that we're wanting to convey to you, is that you can be or do or have anything that you desire, and that your inner being has already accomplished a very powerful precursor to all of that. And so there is enormous momentum already underway for everything that you want, even in your ignorance of its existence. And when you quiet your mind, which contains those ignorant, and we don't mean to be disrespectful in that, we just mean when you quiet the part of your mind that doesn't believe in yourself, when you quiet the part of your mind that disrespects yourself and others, when you quiet the part of your mind that believes in badness rather than goodness, when you quiet the part of your mind that is in the way of all good things, and in the quieting of that part of your mind, you allow yourself to access who you really are. And you do that often enough that who you really are becomes easily accessible. Then anytime you want, you can do as Esther does, which is put herself in a position where she's comfortable, deliberately quiet your mind, and infinite intelligence is yours. It is not a big thing. It's a normal thing. It's what you came knowing that you are. When you were born, you didn't say, I will go and I'm on my own. You said, I'm going, you all coming? Yeah. And we all said, yeah, we're coming. We'll be with you every step of the way. We'll be involved in every thought you think. You will feel our harmony in what you come to know. And then you said, okay, I'll go. And you said, and I'll mix it up with stuff, and I'll think of new things to ask. And we said, we're counting on that. That's the reason that you're going. We're counting on you stirring up new things, asking things that haven't been asked before, wanting things that haven't been wanted before, even getting out of sync with us to do it, because we're never far away. And in your asking, you're going to get out of sync. But when you come back into alignment with the solution that your problem has caused you to reach for, it'll be a big celebration. And so that's what it's all about. There's nothing serious going on here. There's nothing unusual going on here. There's just Esther in her physical body syncing up with her non-physical partners in crime. Yeah. And, by the way, living happily ever after, which is the whole point of it. Living happily ever after. Here, there, doesn't matter where. Once you have control of your vibration, you live happily ever after. And there's no reason not to pretty quickly get control of your vibration if you are willing to accept this one simple premise. When you feel good, you're in alignment, and when you don't, you're not. And if you're not in alignment, then get into alignment somehow, even if you have to quiet your mind. So?
I'm good, except can I play just a little bit more?
Whatever you want.
Well, here's the thing. So the words that I hear from my father, who's more alive today than he was when he croaked 4.5 years ago, he just is. But I always hear him saying, and I've heard him since I was a child, when he says it with these vibrational chords, he would say, stop broadcasting when you ought to be tuning in. And I often am broadcasting in my mind when I need to be tuning in and quieting myself. And so
be aware, because here's what he's saying to you now. You are remembering his human words. And so you're misunderstanding what's coming to you now. Because he's not saying stop broadcasting until you're tuning in. He's saying now you're tuned in, start broadcasting.
Now I'm done.